Today on Public Eye News, the FBI offers an update on the Michigan synagogue attack. And later, the U.S. Senate Democratic primary race heats up.
Andy Jordan will have your weather forecast for the next couple of days, and later today, I will take you through today's sports breakdown. I'm Emma Maratz.
And I'm Dylan Dubé, and you're watching Public Eye News. Federal investigators say a man who rammed a pickup truck into a suburban Detroit synagogue earlier this month was inspired by the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah and intended to carry out a mass casualty attack. The FBI says 41-year-old Ayman Ghazali targeted Temple Israel in West Bloomfield Township after researching Jewish sites in the area. Authorities say he waited in the parking lot for hours before driving his truck into the building's early childhood wing, injuring a security guard. He then exchanged gunfire with another guard before taking his own life. Investigators say Ghazali had recently purchased an assault-style rifle and ammunition, and his vehicle was filled with gasoline and fireworks. Despite the attack, no children or staff inside were harmed. And Michigan State Police are warning residents about a scam targeting elderly individuals in the Upper Peninsula using fear and impersonation tactics. In a recent case, scammers contacted an elderly woman claiming her computer had been hacked. They persuaded her to record a video stating her name, address, and social security number to verify her identity. After obtaining that information, they instructed her to withdraw money from her bank and threatened her with arrest if she refused, claiming a federal agent would come to collect the cash. Bank employees recognized the situation as suspicious and intervened before any money was withdrawn. The woman later contacted Michigan State Police for assistance. Authorities emphasize that legitimate government agencies do not request money or sensitive information in this way and urge anyone who receives similar requests to cut off contact and report it to law enforcement.
There's a shortage of paramedics and emergency medical technicians in rural Michigan, despite the state of Michigan putting millions of dollars into ensuring training for EMS after the COVID pandemic. The state of Michigan and most of the country do not consider emergency medical services as essential workers. EMS is known for the burnout as their workers receive the same wage as fast food employees. EMT training is mainly self-funded as most technicians in training need a second form of employment to afford the training needed. Paramedic training can take between 10 to 14 months to get properly certified and can cost thousands of dollars. And a growing movement toward group buying of solar panels is taking shape in Michigan. As part of this movement, a sustainability group known as Solarize is working towards getting solar panels in Royal Oak. During a recent storm, a local resident did not lose power because of the energy he collected from the solar panels. That resident is now wanting his fellow neighbors to get solar panels as well. Group buying has been on the rise as federal incentives encourage it. Other counties in the area have taken notice of the initiative and have been adapting it to their own communities. Solarize is also offering discounts to Royal Oak residents, with groups of residents getting between 5 and 15% off of their solar panel purchases. Gas prices have jumped to over $4 a gallon as the fighting in Iran continues. A jet fuel shortage has also started. President Trump issued a social media post this morning saying countries like the United Kingdom impacted by the jet fuel shortage should go and take the oil. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
A month into fighting, Iran hasn't backed down from attacks on the Strait of Hormuz. This Kuwaiti oil tanker was hit Tuesday morning.
We remain focused on targeting their mine laying capability, their naval assets.
President Trump has expressed frustration that U.S. allies have not done more to help, posting on social media that countries like the United Kingdom that can't get jet fuel should go to the strait and just take it.
I think other countries should pay attention when the president speaks. He's proven that when he speaks, he means something. And he's pointing out, you might want to start learning how to fight for yourself.
CBS News spoke with President Trump about his post, and he says the U.S. is not pulling assets from the strait yet, but reiterated other countries need to do more. On Monday, the UK's Prime Minister said it's working with partners on a plan for the strait, but is also calling for de-escalation.
We are looking to see what we can do in the Straits of Hormuz, but we're not going to get dragged into this war.
The U.S. is less reliant on the Strait of Hormuz for oil compared to many countries, but the global jet fuel shortage is having an impact here.
JetBlue announced it's raising its baggage fees to cover the extra cost, and United announced last week it's cutting back on the number of flights.
Fares have gone up 15 to 20% across the industry. Of course they do that. There's sort of no choice when prices go up, when fuel prices go up this much.
The price of gasoline continues to go up as well. The national average is now above $4 a gallon. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your sports and Midwest news after this break.
I'm making haddock fillets, and I'm sure that Stig is also very helpful somewhere around here. Oh, look at that. That's a big one.
Be focused. You don't want to be attached to this one.
Tuesday at 4:30, 3:30 Central.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. Once again, I'm Emma Maratz here with your Tuesday Sports Breakdown. Starting on the baseball diamond, the Detroit Tigers fell to the Arizona Diamondbacks 9-6. Justin Verlander made his return to the pitching mound for the Tigers during his 21st year in the league and gave up 5 runs on 6 hits during his almost 4 innings pitching. Corbin Carroll had a big night with the Diamondbacks, hitting a home run that brought in 3 runs and also had 4 RBIs. The two teams face off in the second game of this series, with the game starting at 9:40 p.m. in Phoenix, Arizona. Going to the basketball court, the University of Michigan men's basketball team is preparing for their face-off in the Final Four against Arizona, which is their first time returning to the Final Four since 2018. In the last game against Tennessee, Michigan soared with a final victory of 95-62. Yaxel Lendenberg put up 27 points, and the Wolverines added their 11th victory with an over 30-point difference to the schedule. Lindenberg also became the first player from the University of Michigan to add at least 23 points to the board in 3 straight NCAA tournament games since 1994. Tip-off for the Michigan versus Arizona game is set for 8:49 p.m. in Lucas Oil Stadium on April 4th. Ending things off with golf, pro golfer Tiger Woods was involved in a car crash on March 27th, and it was just revealed that he had bloodshot eyes and had hydrocodone pills in his possession during the crash, and was sweating profusely. Woods was driving when he hit a truck that was in front of him and rolled his Land Rover. The truck had over $5,000 in damages, and neither Woods nor the driver were injured. An officer on the scene reported that Woods refused a urine test and that his motor skills seemed impaired. Refusing a urine test in the state of Florida is a misdemeanor. This is not the first car crash that Woods has been involved in, and he is set to be arraigned on April 23rd. That's all I have for sports. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thank you for that sports breakdown, Emma. Go Blue! Moving into some statewide news, a growing divide within the Democratic Party is complicating efforts to win back control of the U.S. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is backing establishment candidates in the key battleground races, but some Democratic senators are breaking ranks and endorsing more progressive challengers. Tensions are playing out in Michigan and Minnesota, highlighting a broader debate over the party's direction following the 2024 election loss to Donald Trump. At issue is whether traditional campaign strategies still resonate with voters and whether current leadership should remain in place. The split is also visible in Maine, where the party's official campaign arm supports Governor Janet Mills, while several senators are backing insurgent candidate Graham Plattner. The outcome of these primary battles should shape not only control of the Senate, but the future of Democratic leadership in Washington. And a bipartisan group of U.S. senators is introducing new legislation aimed at improving mental health support for veterans through outdoor recreation. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin joined Senators Kevin Cramer, Maggie Hassan, and John Boozman to propose the Veterans Outdoor Rehabilitation Act. The bill would expand access to structured outdoor programs for former service members. The effort follows a new report from the Department of Veterans Affairs highlighting ongoing challenges with anxiety, depression, and PTSD among veterans. Lawmakers say outdoor activities like hiking and water recreation can help reduce stress and improve overall well-being. If approved, the legislation would create a federal grant program allowing states to develop or expand outdoor opportunities for veterans, with each participating state guaranteed baseline funding to support services. And new developments in the case of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin. Tyler Robinson is accused of killing the right-wing activist at a campus event last September. But now his lawyers claim the fatal bullet may not match the gun allegedly used in the crime. Carter Evans reports.
It's been nearly 7 months since conservative political activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed during a Utah Valley University campus event on September 10th last year. Now, attorneys for Tyler Robinson, the man charged in Kirk's killing, are asking to delay his preliminary hearing to review a mountain of material they say could help his defense. In a new court filing, the defense claims in an ATF report summary that the agency, quote, was unable to identify the bullet recovered at autopsy to the rifle allegedly tied to Mr. Robinson.
Doesn't mean that those bullets aren't the same or that they aren't connected. It just means there isn't enough evidence there to come to a conclusion.
CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson says this is not unusual.
It is sometimes difficult to match bullets that were recovered at autopsy with bullets that are associated with a defendant's gun. And that could be based on lack of evidence and lack of markings on those bullets.
Robinson has been charged with aggravated murder in Kirk's death. He has not yet entered a plea. Prosecutors intend to seek the death penalty.
Robinson hid the gun and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages.
Prosecutors allege Robinson admitted to killing Kirk in those text exchanges.
Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry.
Prosecutors also say they have DNA evidence that connects Robinson to the killing. Levinson says the inability to conclusively match the bullet won't necessarily damage the prosecution's case.
The prosecution has other evidence to rely on. This does not completely undermine their case.
Carter Evans, CBS News, Los Angeles.
New York, as we'll have your weather after this short break.
Asking tough questions to those in power.
Russia right now has you outmanned, outgunned. Is it time to think about a settlement?
As a newcomer to Congress, what did you make of the high degree of dysfunction within the Republican conference?
I always felt that it was broken.
And covering events as they unfold.
Opposition fighters have reached the suburbs of the capital, Damascus.
PBS NewsHour and PBS News Weekend, every night on PBS and streaming.
Welcome back. I'm Andy Jordan, here to take you through your Public Eye weather report. Starting off with our roof cam here, as you can see, pretty dense cloud coverage, and the snow is slowly but surely melting. And taking a look across the UP, as you can see, more clouds all across the board, starting off in Houghton, 34 degrees, in Ironwood, also 34. In Iron Mountain, it jumps up to 45 degrees, and in Menominee, it is 43 degrees. Now, taking a look at the east side of the map here, in Escanaba, it is 41 degrees. In Manistee, 35 degrees. In the Sioux, 36 degrees. And back here in Marquette, it is 33 degrees and cloudy. Now, taking a look at our current conditions, we have winds coming from the north at 10 miles per hour with our barometric pressure at 29.96 inches and rising. And looking to tonight, more cloud coverage, a low of 29, and winds coming from the north-northwest at 13 miles per hour, and our moon phase is a waxing gibbous. And looking to tomorrow, the clouds continue with a high of 29 and a low of 25, and the winds coming from the northeast at 11 miles per hour. And looking into the weekend, pretty heavy snow coming in throughout the weekend starting on Thursday with a high of 35 degrees and a low of 26. On Friday, a high of 34 and low of 28. And on Saturday, a high of 33 degrees and a low of 29. That's all I have for your weather. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Andy, for the weather update. How are you feeling about the snow we're supposed to get?
I'm ready for it to be over. I am sick of the snow. I hear that you have one more story for us.
I do. James McCommons is coming to the Lydia M. Olson Library to talk about his new book, The Feather Wars and the Great Crusade to Save America's Birds. McCommons is a retired professor of NMU and an established author. His talk will be at 7 p.m. on April 7th and is free to the public.
Sounds great. You think you're going to check that out?
I don't really know though.
You're not sure? I might check that out. I think that's a pretty interesting event. I love anything that's involved with the Peter White Public Library. I think that's fantastic.
Oh, I agree.
That's all the time we have for Public Eye News. I'm Dylan Dubé.
And I'm Emma Maratz.
And we'll catch you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.